welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming over and joining us. By the name of the video, you can probably tell what this is about. We are basically just doing a little video to kind of celebrate National Breastfeeding Week. Now, I personally don't have much of a story, like a personal story with me and Macklan's journey. It was very short-lived. So I decided I would branch out, contact some of my mum friends in real life and some of my Instagram mum friends and some of the Instagram groups that I'm in, which everyone's been absolutely fantastic. So firstly, I would like to start by saying thank you to all the fantastic mums who took part. I'll tag everyone at the end. 2 of the mums have got YouTubes as well, so I'll tag everyone's Instagram and those YouTube accounts at the end if you could all go and show some love to those mums to say thank you for them taking part in my video. I will start off with me and Macklan's story. Obviously I'm going to do like a whole birth video thing another time, and that'll kind of explain why we weren't able to breastfeed straight away. But basically, me and Macklan were very tired. I had been in back labour for 48 hours by this point and hadn't slept in 60 odd hours. It was just crazy. So it was a bit much pressure for me to put on myself. And he was trying to drink quicker than what I could supply, so it just didn't really work. But we did do it a handful of times, maybe about 5 times. But it was only for 30 seconds or less, because he just got bored. And there was milk, I was producing milk, just not an awful lot, but it wasn't something that I wanted to pressure myself to do. I literally just done it to say that I'd done it. Sorry about that. To say that I'd done it, and just to have the experience, because if Macklan was to be my only ever child and I look back and never had that experience, I would be slightly gutted, because it was a personal choice for me that I wanted to try it. I don't think personally that I am cut out to have breastfed Macklan for the past year. Just mentally, physically, you know yourself, you know your own body, you know what you can cope with. I don't think that I would have been able to do that. So I made the decision. I tried it out. I thought this isn't going to work, and I made the decision for my family that we weren't going to. That wasn't for us. However, as well, nobody at the hospital after Macklan was born mentioned anything about breastfeeding. I think if one of the nurses had or the midwife had said, "Okay, so do you want to try that?" I would probably give it more of a go at the hospital and kind of got the support that was there. But they just asked me what formula I wanted for him, so I just kind of went with their flow. As I say, I was full of gas and air as well, so I wasn't really in a position to be making decisions at that point. It was 5:30 in the morning. I just took the formula. It's a good experience. I like being able to say that I tried it. I would like to have had more of an experience with it, have more of a journey with it, more of a story to kind of tell you guys, but I don't, unfortunately. So with that being said, let's move on to the questions I asked the other mums, and hopefully this kind of helps you guys. Either you feel that you can relate to kind of some of the things that have been said, or if you've even come away from this and think, okay, well at least I'm not the only one who feels that way, then that's all I really want, to be honest, because there's so many kind of judgy comments or stigmas and things around breastfeeding, and I just want to normalise that sometimes it doesn't work. Everyone's bodies are so different, everyone's babies are so different. There's so many reasons why it doesn't work. Never ever feel like you have to justify your reason for not doing it. You don't owe a reason to anyone. You carried that child, you birthed that child, you're going to raise that child, you feed that child how you see fit, in my own opinion. So yeah, let's get into the questions. I asked a group of 14 mums, myself included, a couple of questions, and the first question was, did you plan to breastfeed before you gave birth? Now, most, not all, there was a couple who didn't, but most of the mums all said yes, that they had planned to. One of the mums that said that she hadn't planned to actually ended up, she did do it for a couple of weeks, so it just shows that it doesn't always go to plan, and that's not necessarily that you plan to breastfeed and it doesn't work out. Sometimes like that, you don't plan to do it and it works out. But not everyone can, not everyone wants to. and that's just life. My friend Holly, she ended up having to have a section, and she was really unwell after it and was on like lots of medication and things. So for her and her little boy Alfie, it just wasn't going to work for them. Holly's quite excited to try it again next time though. It's not put it off, but for her and her son's sake, that was the decision that they had to make. Kind of like ours, I had to make a decision. It was, you know, made best for my family. Another mum as well, she couldn't as well because of medication, because of how her labour had gone. So it does go to show, even if you plan right up to the last minute to breastfeed, life happens, life gets in the way. It doesn't always work out that way. Third question I asked was, how long were people breastfeeding for? Because that really ranged. I feel like there's so much pressure on people to feed up until 1, feed up until this age, feed up until whatever age. My mums were very mixed. I have some mums who breastfed for the first 4 weeks, then went on to combi feeding or went on to bottle formula milk. There were some mums who fed up until 8 or 9 months. Some mums, as I said, right up until 1, 18 months, so on and so forth. Some mums, not that from what I done, but I know there are mums out there who feeds right up until like 2 and 3 years of age. So that's fantastic. Some mums kind of fed up until about 8 or 9 months, and then their children kind of started weaning off themselves. A lot of parents who did wean off decided to kind of combi feed, which was what I was planning on doing, if it went to plan. That actually was quite common. Quite a lot of mums said that they wanted more information on combi feeding, that they ended up going for that, or that was their first choice of what they wanted to do. So combi feeding is quite an interesting one, but that's basically just kind of half breast milk, half pumped, and then from the bottle. So that works too. I asked our mums who actually prepared, as in bought pumps, pads, like nipple cream, all that kind of thing. Quite a lot of mums did, and to prepare, what we got was bought pumps, attending the NCT day classes. They run breastfeeding day sessions, which have been recommended by the mums who in my kind of group here. They all said that was actually that worked quite well for them. Buying like nursing tops, bras, pads, all that kind of thing. Research online as well. A lot of mums said that they'd done a lot of research beforehand, so that they kind of knew what to expect. They knew the kind of services that they could go and speak to, all that kind of thing. So definitely, if you are planning to do it, just do some research. You know, it can't hurt to be clued up. 3 people did say that there was not actually enough information. They didn't find that there was enough information before they gave birth. Maybe that's just whether that's in their area, maybe that was just where they were looking online, maybe they just didn't have the support around them, because there was a few mums who said this, so I didn't ask everyone, you know, where did you look, like who did you ask, but I actually found that as well, that there wasn't as much kind of breastfeeding support leading up to birth as what I thought there was. I thought that the hospital, like NHS, offered more classes like that, which I was wrong about. I think it would be great if they did offer more, but obviously resources and things are stretched. Like, they already do like their antenatal classes and things like that, which is fab, but I do think that maybe having like breastfeeding classes would be brilliant. So if anyone knows any breastfeeding classes anywhere in the UK, this is for like all the mums in my thing, we're all over the UK, so put in the comments any kind of breastfeeding classes, workshops, like support people, anything like that you used, or that you think could help someone who's pregnant and wanting to breastfeed so they're more prepared and supported. Put that in the comments, because that would be fab. So yeah, don't put pressure on yourself that you have to do it. Also, what I will say as well, with me and Macklan, I know that we didn't actually, you know, do it properly, but we didn't try it until, I think Macklan was like 2 weeks old when we actually tried it, which I thought was a bit strange. I was like, oh, it definitely won't work, but it did. It worked, just not to his supply and demand, basically, like, wasn't coming out as quickly as and as much as what he needed. But yeah, don't put pressure on yourself. to do it up until a certain point, or like if you've got friends who all breastfeed, like, oh well, she breastfeds up until whatever age, like why can't I? The reason that is because every single person's body and baby are entirely different. Never ever 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 compare yourself or judge your child's development or whatever it is based on your friend or her child or children in your kid's class or whatever it is. Don't do that, because everybody's so different that you just can't do that. Question number 5. So ask the mums if there was anything they would do differently next time. There's a few good answers. So for example, one mum, Emma, she said that she would kind of try and come to terms with feeding and all that kind of stuff before actually having, you know, all these visitors and guests in, which I think is a really good bit of advice whether you're breastfeeding or not, but especially if you are breastfeeding, because that's quite a new and daunting experience for someone who's not done it before. So I think, yeah, definitely in your first week, guys, don't ever feel pressured or like you have to let everybody in and kind of share that time with everybody. It is okay to just shut the door and say, look, I just need the time to, you know, get to grips with new family life and establish a bond and a routine. Not even a routine, you know, you don't have a routine with a newborn, but as a new mum you kind of try and get your own kind of new routine working, you know. So yeah, don't ever feel pressured to have everybody in. Another one of our mums, Sarah, said that she wouldn't wait so long to feed outside next time. I think she felt just, it was like, maybe as a new mum you do just feel it's like quite a daunting thing to maybe do it in public straight away. Eventually she was fine with it, but it's good that next time if she has another baby she won't wait as long, because she's a bit more confident with it now, so that's really good. One of her other mums said that she would, who wasn't able to give it a go this time, the first time round, sorry, just because she didn't have as much information and advice and things and support there as what other mums maybe had. And so I think it's really good that this mum said that she would really like to give it a go next time, because she feels that she has more knowledge and understanding and feels more supported. She's got more mum friends and things now, more people that she can reach out to and speak to, so that's really good. Just knowing that someone has the confidence to kind of say, right, next time I'm going to kind of set myself a goal to maybe try and kind of do that, so that's fab. One of the other mums said as well, which is something I touched on at the start, is try and kind of learn more about combi feeding, because a lot of mums ended up, they used it at some point, whether it was to kind of wean off the breast milk, or whether it was just a case of when they went back to work it was just for convenience or whatever it was. A lot of mums did actually say that they had kind of dabbled in combi feeding. So yeah, I think it would be good if there was more advice out there. I think if I ever have a next time I'll probably look more into that and stuff as well. I did look into it a lot. That combi feeding was kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to do kind of a mixture of both, because I did know it was going to be too much pressure for myself just breast constantly, so I did want people to bring bottles in. So yeah, definitely learning more about that, learning more about your options is always a really good idea. And one of the other mums as well said, don't be scared to fail and try again, which is really good, because it's not an easy thing. Some people do, some babies latch straight away, some mums have a perfect experience, but a lot of others don't. So like that, if you fail the first time, it's not even a fail, but if you don't succeed the first time, then just try again. So I thought that was really good. If there's anything else that you guys would maybe like to do differently, pop them in the comments. Last question I asked all my amazing mums was for one bit of advice that they would give to a new mum regarding kind of feeding. So I don't just want to kind of list these ones off here. I thought I'd put them all together. What's that word? What's the word for things? It's like in hypnobirthing. Positive affirmations, that's it, positive affirmations. So I thought I'd put like a little kind of video together just with all the mums and my own words of advice. So if you are a new mum, you are thinking of breastfeeding, if you're not thinking of breastfeeding, hopefully this little clip with some words of advice will help you out. I hope you enjoy. thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up. Comment below if you've got any other advice or useful links for anyone. I will leave a whole load of useful links in the description box as well for different places some of the mums had recommended to me. Subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notifications so that your phone reminds you when I have a new video coming out and I don't have to. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video.